I have some current information for you. I make this an electrifying presentation because I don't get much of an outlet. But the real reason I was here is because I think we're all transformers. And so when I get here, you'll see what I'm talking about, maybe. The other thing I was going to say, it's like the story of the raven and the crow. You know the difference between a raven and a crow. A crow has 6 pinions in its arm, and a raven has 7 in its wing. So the difference is a matter of opinion. But, oh, never mind. And the reason I'm saying this, because I think a lot of people are under the impression that it's an opinion that we have to be members of faithful stewardship. But we have to, it's a fact, we have to be faithful stewards. So anyway, let me go ahead, and I'm going to go through it really quickly. We're a Roman Catholic parish. We have over 4,000 registered families, 590 students in preschool through 8th grade, and we guide families to grow in faith, knowledge, character, and assist them in becoming active members in the church and the local community. I quote, I want to be frank here, or should I say Francis, and quote Francis, and I think we had this as one of our quotes, that creation is not a property which we can rule over at will or even less. It's a property of only a few. Creation is a gift. It is a wonderful gift that God has given us so that we care for it and use it for the benefit of all, always with great respect and gratitude. So that's our mission statement as Catholics in our parish at St. Michael's as well. Our goal, I'm just going to go with our big goals. We want to be zero net energy by 2025, increased waste recycling efforts to double the amount recycled by 2020, increased participation and collaboration between parish, school parents, and students in reaching our goals to 80% by 2020, and provide quarterly educational opportunities in the area of sustainability for parish and school families. So we've actually started on that, and I think we've gone a long way. I want to go over some near-term objectives. We're going to install a photovoltaic system within the next year. Actually, it should be started this July. We signed a contract, and we're in the permit process right now. That should meet approximately 85% of our needs. And I'll come back to that later. We're going to decrease our energy use by 2% annually for the next 5 years. That may seem small, but I think we're fairly efficient in what we're doing right now, so that we didn't want to make it a big goal right now. We're going to adjust that as time goes on. We're going to decrease use of landscape irrigation by 5% annually over the next 3 years, and I think it's going to be more than that because we just got a letter from Poway stating that this coming week we can only water 10 minutes per station on 2 days a week. So I'm sure we're going to be a lot less than that. And even we already had well water that we're using, but I think that doesn't excuse us from using the well water that we've been blessed with to use it in a way that's sustainable. And so we're going to try and cut back on the usage by decreasing by changing to more xeriscape tolerant natural plants over the next 5 years as we replant. And we want to improve employee engagement by 30% over 3 years. What we're finding is we can make a lot of edicts from the top, but we need to educate people so that they become part of the buy-in of what we're doing. So we've already started our sustainability team. There are really members besides me. Janice was on vacation, and everybody else has jobs that made it difficult for them to be able to come, with the exception of our principal, who has a job that makes it difficult to come, but she was not able to come today. And our school and parish finance officers both are on the committee as well. So we've developed our mission statement based upon St. Francis. We are going to put that on our website as well and advertise that. We're trying to get our community aware. We do a newsletter for the parish 4 times a year, and in that newsletter, we've already informed the people of the parish what we are going to do and why we are going to do it in our efforts for sustainability. That went out in the Easter newsletter. I did a plug load assessment, and we can save something like 2,644 kilowatts per year just by turning off. We have close to 100 computers that stay on all night, every night. You know, I mean, they're on the sleep mode, but I was reading about sleep modes the other day. You can decrease the amount of usage by turning them off completely. And you get 40,000 times, you can turn your computer on 40,000 times and on and off 40,000 times before it burns out, the switch burns out. So it's not a bad thing to do. We're going to install solar panels, and you can see where we're going to install them. It's actually, our approximate will produce about 549,600 kilowatts out of consumption of 668,200 kilowatt hours. We'll be installing over 1,000 panels. And you can see we're installing carports on one end of the property. The South Campus is going to have it on its school roof, which is the middle picture, and the Holy Family Center is going to also have it on its roof. As we do this, we've come up with a plan to wheel. We have 7 meters, so we're wheeling the meters, so we're going to get credit, so we didn't have to put panels on all the buildings, but we're going to be able to apply our excess energy toward the other meter bills to produce the electric and save us on having to put panels on each of the buildings. We are developing a sustainability handbook so that what we find, so that we have a common goals for everybody. If we didn't have policies and procedures, I notice what's happening is when we go into the church and turn the temperature down, somebody says it's too hot or it's too cold. We want to form a handbook that says why we're doing the temperatures we're doing, when we're doing them, and how much money we're going to save in that handbook. So they'll have an idea and have knowledge of why we're doing what we're doing, and that everyone will have a common place to go to find out what we should be doing as a community. We are increasing our community education. We are going to be hosting several events. We're hoping to host 4 events a year to educate people on sustainability issues throughout the year. So our solar panel project will cost approximately $1.3 million. We'll have an annual savings of $161,768. That's without including the inflationary cost of energy each year after that. But we're projecting a 7 to 8 year return on investment. We did the simple thing of replacing our sink aerators, which was $50. And I think this speaks to what Dee was saying earlier. It's not going to produce that much financial benefit, but it will help us save water and energy. Or it's only going to save us $362, but that's 51,000 gallons of water that we are saving. Waste management, we have increased our number of recycle bins. So each one we now do extra 3.5 cubic yards of recyclables each week. And we're going to add another one next year, so that we'll have doubled the amount of recyclables that we are using, are diverting from trash to recyclable. And then our reduction of paper consumption, I was looking, we used to do 60,000 pages a year for the school newsletter a year. That's all electronic now. But by saving that, we're saving roughly 124 reams of paper, which is roughly 7.4 trees a year. And that was just for the newsletter. And the report cards and everything are now done electronically. We're doing we're trying to print whenever we do on double-sided paper now. So we're saving another 350 reams a year just in the parish alone by doing that. We're talking about installing energy sensors on our outdoor lighting areas. If you recall, I said we have approximately 95 outside parking lot lights that are on roughly 6 to 7 hours every day. And so we're going to try and replace those and hopefully go toward replacing them with the LED light fixtures outside. And the added benefit of that would be that we will not interfere will help avoid light pollution, preventing Palomar Observatory from being able to see stars and whatnot. I know we're a small part, but at least we're doing something. We plan to decrease the use of non-native plants with drought-tolerant plants. So there's a picture of our proposed light fixture and an idea of what we could end up, how nice it can still look with xeriscape and not having to water. So that's our plan to decrease that as we, our only other situation right now that I think will change is Poway used to require certain types of plants to be planted, and I'm hoping they're changing their format of what we can plant now and becoming more proactive with drought-tolerant plants. The exterior lighting would cost us approximately $20,000, but we could probably save about 12,000 kilowatts based upon the time span if we use sensors as opposed to, I think if you recall when we had the guest from University of Irvine, she was saying that we could do motion sensors or sensors outside to reduce the time that you need to have those parking lot lights on, only when people are present. Our evaluation strategy, we're looking for a measurable decrease in our kilowatt hours and our gallons quarterly. We're using monitoring tools provided by SDG&E and Poway Water District. We're monitoring waste management recycling efforts on a weekly basis. And we're giving a quarterly report to our parish green team and finance team, our committee, and our parish council of ministries. And our annual report will be based on our newsletter, which we'll post on our website. I think we're going to we're preparing the long-term budget, which includes monies to invest in long-term capital expenses in renewable energy. Annual look at expenses, and we're going to address and prioritize according to our needs in our handbook that we've addressed. And we have on-site staff to monitor what we're doing. We're going to use new applications to monitor our consumption as they become available. Our budget is based on donors who hopefully will be educated to value sustainability. And we are going to continue to market and promote the value of sustainability and educate and train staff and community on a regular basis. So I think everybody's talked about this. Our funding primarily for our parish is based upon the support of a donor-based community, and so it's difficult to plan budgets when you're not sure exactly how much you're going to receive from donations. At least with the school, they have a little bit of planning capability, enhanced planning capability, because you have a tuition rate that you know is going to be a basis to support your projects. So we've got to do whatever we can to encourage people to see the value of sustainability. And I think what we have to do is overcome discouragement if and when our projections don't pan out the way we want them to. And our expected rewards are a return on investment and contributing to stewardship and conservation for the benefit of all, and an educated and supportive sustainability community. And so I put it's the responsibility of St. Michael's Faith Community to honor with gratitude our God, ourselves, and all of creation through a conscious and sustained effort to use wisely all the resources with which we have been blessed and entrusted for the benefit of present and future generations.